Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Let's go. Every single morning, we come strong, baby, and we give you light, love, and happiness. We show you that there's opportunity in the world if you believe it. There's opportunity in your life if you make it, but you got to create the opportunity. That's just what it is, you know? Funny part of that. But shout out to everybody here. Let's jump on into Bitcoin. I have some quick things to show you. We could be dumping here to the downside. That's why I said, are we going to take a dump? And so far, we've been dumping, have we not? So let's break it down. Are we going to hold this level inside of the smaller channel, or is the 4 hour going to take us to the downside? This is the first thing I wanted to show you right off the bat this morning to keep you up to date. I saw this resistance coming to the downside. That is an M pattern, all right? Kind of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there, even though we have the shoulder, the head, and the left shoulder here, but we didn't get the break above the zone. The 4 hour wanted to get us above here, right there. The 4 hour should have blasted us. It could not. For whatever reason, we could not get back above the bears. The bears would force us to the downside. Right now, the 4 hour is going to dump us to the downside. That's what's happening. So all we need, dude, but this is good. No worries. Look, it's the range. It's that same range. So let's break it down. This range has been trading. So look, this is the trade here that we had open on a scalp on the smaller time frame. We may get stopped out of this trade at one point. It's looking pretty close. It's here on MEXC, right? Stop loss is there, though. My trade's down 20 beans, $19. See, I do not risk a lot when I'm just beginning to trade something I haven't done before. So I don't like losing money. So look, there's an M pattern here. M could break us down to this level at 27,550. That's what I'm looking at, all right? You know me, I just put about 16 grand into, or 8 grand into AGIX. I'm going hard for an AGIX swing trade. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I want to make a beat down. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody putting in their gold. Look, can I find it? There it is. Look, these were given to me by a lifer. These are gold shirt stays, you know, or collar stays from Brooks Brothers, man. Unbelievable. Walking around with gold in the collar. But it was given to me by a lifer. I'm not trying to brag. A lifer said, hey, man, I have these for years. I don't really need them. I think you would love them. And he sent them to me. And a nice little pouch and everything. Shout out to CMAS, one of the first lifers ever, man. So I wear them and talk about them because I'm like, dude, you gave these to me. And they're unbelievable. I actually have shorter ones that are supposed to go in this shirt. He gave me 2 sets. A long version and a short version. Hard to find out where they go if I'm not looking at the screen. There it goes. That goes right in there. Bang. But then you know you got sharp stays. Who has 14 karat gold or more, maybe even 18? Who has gold sitting in their collar, man? Only the lifers would do that for me. Shout out to the lifer who sent that to me. Man, you're gold, baby. Gold, baby. Thank you so much for the love, man. That's amazing. So here, the 4 hour does want to dump on us. However, the 1 hour says no. We're getting too oversold, and I don't want to continue to dump. Let's take a look at the 15. 15-minute also says, hey. This is not where I'm going to end my journey here. You're not going to take us further down. But this is an M. M's do break down 68% of the time. Once you see an M, we're likely to come down to this area at least and test. That's the level I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Now, no big deal if we lose this symmetrical triangle here. It's not a big deal if we lose this level. Why? Because I'm looking at this level as the holding zone. Remember, this is my diagonal trend line that I've been talking about for a long time. As long as we stay above it, I remain bullish. If we do not, we could go down. Also, a bigger M pattern possibly here. We must stay open-minded to this being an M. That could break us down to this level at about 24,891. Now, we could do a bear trap, come into this region, come back up, and then blast. That would make a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Something to look at. I believe that could be a possible idea. We'll keep you privy to that in case it happens. Shout out to my lovers of life. Shout out to the lifers. Shout out to everybody that wakes up with a good attitude and realizes that they are the reason that they could make it happen. Your mentality, your ability to see opportunity is what's going to give you opportunity. Shout out to everybody here on the live. You're beautiful people, and I know you have beautiful souls. God bless each and every one of you for being here. So, look, we got a bit of an M pattern here that could break you to the downside. I don't like what I'm seeing. Here we go. Now we sit and you're like, well, what do we know? Well, the 4 hour could pin us. How do we know now? Look, this is interesting. I'm going to break it down for you. Your 15-minute oversold. You got your 1 hour oversold, but you got your 4 hour overbought and pushing to the downside. How do you know what to do? How do you know where we're going? It's contradictory, right? And you've been trading this way and you're like, well, now I don't know what's going to happen, lifer. And I'm confused. I can't open up a short. I can't open up a long. If I open up a long, the 4 hour will dump me. If I open up a short, the 1 hour will pump me. And I'm confused. I don't know what to do. And I said, you know what? I'll give you the answer. I was confused like you too many times when this happened to me. I would see 2 different things on the oscillators and not know what to do. You know what you do? You go to the 1 minute chart, the 30-second, and you look for bullish or bearish signs. That's what you do. Look, we have a bit of a bullish divergence here on the 1 minute of the 30-second time frame, suggesting that we do get a bit of a bounce here. That is a bullish divergence, all right? Also, if this was in a bear flag right now or showing signs that it was going to dump, it would be likely. This looks more like we're going to get a reversal back to the upside, in my humble opinion, but you never know. Bitcoin holding 28,248, kind of sideways with lack of volume for the moment. Just kind of not really moving too fast. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see where the liquidity lies for Bitcoin. And shout out to anyone that jumped into the altcoins. We're going to break down what we made last night, talk about what happened in the trading group from last night, even in the live stream. And we're giving you a lot of live calls late at night. If you're coming to the late night live streams, I'm pretty nice at night. During the day, I'm a cutthroat. But during the night, I'm a little nicer, and I throw a little bit of more gems at you. So if you come to the night streams, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be blessed. A lot of times we wake up in the morning after the night stream just to count the gains. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time, the Crypto Lifer Show. Like last night, we hit Dogecoin from 6 o'clock to 9 for 21% gains. CAS continued to blast from that live stream call all the way up 20% to the upside. Caspa, baby, Caspa. Very, very interesting coin. Let's look at liquidity. Right now, the liquidity on BOOKMAP suggests that we do go lower to 28,100. Really not a lot on the board. Something up here at 28,005 for a sell wall. So right now, we're kind of in the middle. Anything can happen, really. BOOKMAP's not giving us too much indication of a thing. Usually, we're like, oh, we all know when I show up, a short squeeze usually happens. That's just a coincidence or it happens. So we must kind of assume that it will happen, but we don't know. We don't know, right? I do see the bullish divergence on the 30-second chart that suggests we will get a bounce back to the upside. That's a bullish sign for us. You know, it's not like we're looking at a bear flag. See, if I'd went here, if we had started the morning like this, I would have said, everyone, that's a bear flag. Watch out for the bear flag for the break to the downside. Look, that's exactly what it did. That would have been your measured move, all right? So that was the first dump of the day. And look, shoulder, head, and a shoulder. Interesting. Here's your neckline to the head and shoulder pattern. This stuff is not rocket science. It's right here for you to see. You just have to be able to see it. The neckline to the head would have been your measured move. That's exactly where you went. Like exactly where you went. Like that's insanity how TA breaks out. But you got to see the TA before it happens to make the call, to make the move. So right now, it's looked like we're getting a bit of a bounce to the upside here based on the divergence that we're seeing. Let's keep moving the divergence. Is it on the 5? It's not. It's actually been a pretty nasty dump. Well, we can watch the 5 too. The 5 may give us a bear flag here. So look, I could project the bear flag before it happens, just like I project the bull flag before it happens. And this bear flag would drop us down. This would actually make us lose the level that I'm looking at, all right? Why do I have 2 lines here? Let's get this one out. We don't need that. That's ridiculous. That was the smaller channel, all right? So here, if we break this line, remember, this is my diagonal trend line. That's oh so important. This is the one we really need to watch very, very closely, all right? Let's see, Bitcoin kind of getting a bit of a dump here to the downside, continuing its nasty dumpage here. Look at that, wickage again. But look, that's just a strong divergence. Great place to long right there, personally, on a 30-second. I mean, if you can't long divergence in a red candle, then what can you long, right? That's just the only place to long, in my humble opinion. Most people would freak out. They couldn't do it. It would scare them. You know, but that's, I mean, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say you should be taking as financial advice. Like, I'm not telling you where to long, what to do. I would never tell you what to buy or sell, ever. Ever. I get no joy of doing that. If anyone ever hit you up, say it's Sam Bryce, we're starting a fund, send us 15 grand, we'll send you 10, 20 grand tomorrow. Nothing like that would ever happen. I would never do that. I am a teacher, you're a student, and that's our relationship. I love to teach. I fell in love with teaching, and I realized that teaching is just my gift and what I love to do with my life. So, hey, if you want to jump into my teaching, know that I do teach class every single week, baby. And I could take a week off from teaching class, but I do not, because I know there's someone out there that needs the education. There's someone out there that wants to change their life, all right? BOOKMAP's still getting some more. Look, now the volume's coming in a little bit, starting to bubble up. We kind of came down to the low area to test. We nibbled up at 28,150. You know, now they're kind of battling. The bears and the bulls are battling. Again, we see a bullish divergence on the 30-second, which does suggest we will get a move to the upside. What are these 2 lines? I'm just projecting that we could make a bear flag here. So if we don't V-shape recovery, if the 30-second doesn't get back above 28,379, expect more downside. Even right here, we now have a local resistance at 28,300 that must be breached on the smaller time frames. If we can't get above that, expect more downside. And Bitcoin is getting a bit of a melee here. Now look, the 5-second chart showing this weird, like, look, I guess that's a descending triangle or some type of bear flag. That's a very ugly sign if you ask me. Bit of a double bottom though. All right. Bit of a double bottom, but Bitcoin is dumbing right now. We got a bit of emotions on a Sunday morning. People are wondering what's happening. How far will Bitcoin pump or dump? Who knows, man? Shout out to Baltus Amber. We love you, man. Thank you so much, Sam. Kryptonic, hidden bullish on the 1 hour now. Banner. Thank you. Thank you. So look, the 5-second chart has the double bottom here. All right. I want you to see the poster long term. It embeds the facts. See, when you write remove the poster, it lets me know that you remember it. For the rest of your life, you're going to remember that I teach class. It helps people remember class. Remember, I'm psyoping you all the time. I'm a step ahead all the time trying to trip and whip you and get your mind into another state. I'm able to reprogram your subconscious mind. That is my gift. And I've been doing it. You don't even know that I've been doing it. I've been getting you to do the greatest things of your life, drinking that lemon water, working out every day, speaking positively, and becoming the opportunity that you are every single day. They brainwashed us one way. We need to unbrainwash ourselves the other way and get ourselves into the next motion. All right? Shout out to every one of you for being here. May God bless each and every one of you. Bang, bang, bang. So look at this. Look at this. I'm not your average human being. I'm just not, and I never will be. I refuse to be like someone you've met before. I refuse to be something you can even replicate. You're like, what is that? I don't know. It's Samuel James Price. It's his own sauce, baby. He follows no man. He follows God and God only. God bless each and every one of you for being here. Bit of an inverted head and shoulder could get us to reverse here. Somewhat doing this. I do see this, and I am on the 5-second chart where we're trying to, we're attempting to see, can we end the pain? And I'm not even trying to trade this. What I'm looking for is some resolution. I'm looking for resolution to the dumpage. All right. Right here, we do see some movement here, and we see liquidity to the downside. So BOOKMAP giving us some trouble here to the downside. All right. We now have a resistance for Bitcoin clear as day at 28,200. We got to get it back above this line. I'm going to get rid of this projected bear flag because you can see it already kind of didn't do its thing. What time frame am I on? I'm on a smaller time frame, the 35-second chart, even if I have to be. All right. Interesting enough. Look at this. So, Bear City, man. Will the bullish divergence hold us down? Will that bullish divergence hold us down on the 32nd? It's not too strong, honestly. There we go. Getting some liquidity back to the upside. That wick was the entry. Remember, the wick right there was the wick on the divergence. I said you got to enter the right wick on the divergence. So far, it's struggling, but we got to get back above the zone here. BOOKMAP building liquidity, but it got a sell wall. 28,500 is brewing. Can we beam up and start the short squeeze? See how it's starting to bubble up right there? That tells me a short squeeze may be happening right now. They trap people to think that we were going down on low liquidity Sunday. And honestly, trading futures on a Sunday is usually for the birds. Worst thing you could be doing for yourself. Because there's low liquidity, lack of volume. Yeah, I have a tiny trade open. I'm not going for the gusto right there. You know what I mean? And that's almost like a long-term idea. So look, that inverted head and shoulder did break to the upside exactly as it suggested it would. Look at that. So interesting, right? So hard to see. I mean, in 1 second, that's insane. But it did shoulder, head, and shoulder to the upside. Neckline to the head was just your measured move. That's all you were supposed to get, and that's exactly what you had. Look at that. It's just so crazy how it happens even on the smallest time frames, the biggest time frames. It does not matter. Who else showed you an inverted head and shoulder on the 5-second chart this morning? Come on now. Insanity. Took me years to be able to see it like this, but look, we still have a resistance that we can't seem to get back above. 28,198 is going to give us a problem. Look, dumpage right there. We couldn't fulfill the move. Looking pretty nasty today, I'll be honest with you. And now we got a bit of a bear flag here, starting to be resembled. Wow, Bitcoin struggling today as we begin the day. What a way to start Sunday morning. You know what I mean? What a day to stop Sunday morning. Yep. And you are removed. Honestly, I remove spammers. I love you, and you probably could come to my show. Join my trading group, and you might even become a customer. But I don't want a customer like that. I don't want someone like that in my trading group that doesn't understand how to behave. So already there's signs that you need to be watched. And now that we know you need to be watched, you're kind of going to be removed. We're really good at the frequency here. You keep your frequency really high, and when people are off frequency, we can smell it, see it, and vibrate right off of that. And we could be like, nope. Please get that out of here. We can't deal with the negative energy or the constant, or the immaturity. You know what I mean? Yeah, no need to spam. We have a bunch of awesome people here helping you out. All right. Namaste. Namaste, my friend. Namaste. Namaste to everybody here, man. May you have a blessed day. Salam alaikum to all the people that are here. I don't have my lemon water. As you can see, I'm not going to say why. I'm keeping it to myself. It's private, but you know why. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. CKB, MATIC, and Kaz, baby. Why don't you send a super chat, man, if you want to take in the time of the show. If you want to put your idea and take a piece of the show, you got it, you know. Hey, the show brings value. So every time the show is on, there's value coming. If you grab a piece of the show, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. And that's what a super chat is. All right. Look, we're rejected by the 200 SMA. We got to get back above this shoulder, this head, and this right shoulder. We do have an inverted there. That's definitely an inverted head and shoulder. Measured move to the upside. Gets us back above the resistance. Short's about to get squeezed a little bit, likely. If we can get back up. Look, sell wall, though. 28,190. Battling it off. We got to get back above this resistance to remain bullish. We got to get back above this resistance to remain bullish. And it's looking pretty iffy. 15-minute is over. The 5-second is oversold in the stochastic, suggesting we will get a bump back to the upside. And we got to go to like the 30-second chart to see the divergence. All right, swing down to swing down. It's a very sharp divergence, telling us that we're likely to get a move back to the upside. A divergence is when they just crush liquidity to fill a bag. And honestly, that could be it's a good place to grab some Bitcoin. Personally, it's a good place to grab a little bit of BTC, in my humble of opinions. Big deal. MEXC is now 0 fees for spot. Spot trading is absolutely free. I mean, no fees, not free. I mean, but no fees for trading spot. I mean, that's amazing. MEXC Global is the place to be. Sign up to MEXC Global today. Link in the description below. Sign up to MEXC Global. All right. Perfect day to buy some BTC. Perfect day to buy some Bitcoin. All right. On the order book here, you can see a beautiful, nice order book search for BTC, USDT. Remind me later. So look at this. Look at this. Just snatch a little bit of Bitcoin here on this level. I like 28,002, right? Nothing available at the moment. I'm all set up in futures. That's not, hold on. Nothing available. I must have it stuck in an order right now. Let me just check. Let me see. Spot. Yeah, it says I got... That's weird. Oh, you know what it is? I probably was trading like something different. Hold on. Let me just... What was I... Okay. That's weird. Trade, buy crypto. Trade now. No, not with that. Wow, you can even buy with Visa or MasterCard now. That's insane. I never even knew that. You can buy crypto on Visa or MasterCard on MEXC. Dude, they have every way of onboarding. It's pretty insane. Here we go. Sorry, let's take a look here. No, BTC, USD. I'm as transparent as I can be while still trying to keep some privacy here, right? Here we go. I don't know why I said it was unavailable. Maybe I hadn't just reset. So look, there we go. And I'm going to buy me about 800, 900 bucks worth of BTC at this level here. Snatch it up. Continuing to add to my bag of Bitcoin. All right? That's what I do, baby. That's what I do, especially on a dumpage. And the daily looks pretty good to me. I'll show you the bigger time frames. Continuing to gobble up Bitcoin while the rest of the world is not paying attention. I'm telling you right now. Still a bit of a bear flag now that could drop us. Not liking the setup right now. And I'm not liking that the bulls can't get us back above the resistance point right here. We even got a POC here, 28,200. We are getting tight in the moving averages. We should pump up back up here. I'm seeing this now. Remember, this is live. My brain's attempting to figure it out for you live. That's what I do. I put myself on the spot every single day, attempting, and we come out pretty nicely when we figure this out. If you've seen this all the time, your brain becomes a bot. We got the bullish divergence. I would like to see a bit of a move to the upside. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting a nice, easy Bitcoin update. In and out. Call it a day. But again, Just constantly getting mollywopped here over and over again. Pretty insane. Aptos had a beautiful pump to the upside last night for a gain of 9.6% on that daily candle. And look, it's just getting started on the daily. I've been watching Aptos. I talked about it. I got a fractal here on CAS. It came back to the golden pocket. I've seen this happen to many, many coins. This is the Caspa fractal. I like this right now. My crew has seen it. We went over the fractal last night. Hey, this thing ends up at 29. Hey, and I'm not a financial advisor. Anything could happen. It could dump all the way to the downside. I don't know. I don't hold any app at the moment, but I'm thinking that's got to be the place to jump on into APT. Let's look at our baby Arbitrum. How is Arbitrum doing? Hanging in there. 123, still kind of at my buy zone. Arbitrum, right? Not enough information on the daily time frame. Getting oversold in that 3-hour time frame, that's a good sign. It's what you need, right? And you don't want to be beat. So you're super, this is nice consolidation here. I mean, to me, it's bull flagging, right? Like bullpenning. That thing could blast. I jumped into Arbitrum. I felt it was a good idea to hold some long term into the next bull run. A lot of these coins you want to start building now. The problem why people don't make a lot of money, let me explain. What is they get into a coin right now, it does a 2 or 3x. A few months go by and they haven't made a lot of money, so they're like, man, I got to take that. What happens is 2 years later, that coin goes into a 20x, 30x. You know what I mean? It's hard to do, though. It's hard to hold through the gains. It really is. Not a lot of people are able to do it, so they usually 5x or 6x, but they don't 20x and 30x. It takes a certain type of brain to get all the way to the top, all right? You got to really, you got to have conviction. You have to be like, I'm going to do this for this amount of time. You have to all have to be tracking Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin gets to a certain high, you have to understand that level. Let me show you a quick trick when it comes to BTC, all right? I'm going to give you like my special sauce right now, and it's going to blow your mind. Bitcoin in the 30-second does have an inverted, likely to break up to the 200 SMA and get back above 20,300, I'm guessing. Looks like we could do that. So look, we look at the 2-week chart for Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you exactly what I do and how I do it. Delete all this. I look at the 2-week chart, the bigger boy, right? And whenever the stochastics get low, I start accumulating Bitcoin or the other altcoins that are low. Sometimes Bitcoin can pump and can bring the other coins down, so I DCA into this level from the lows. But look, Bitcoin was low in the 2-week. It went all the way up. I pointed this out over and over again. Well, everybody said we were going lower. I said we have a bullish divergence on the 2-week chart. I said it's very rare. I saw big-time traders that have been doing this for a long time claiming we were going down to 9K, 12K, even $3,000. I'm not going to mention who they are, but I think you know who it is, mentioning we were going down to 3,000. Just because Bitcoin goes down, you don't push the bear market idea. That was bullish divergence. I called that bullish divergence for you day in and day out on the weekly, on the 2-week chart, on the 3, you know what I mean? Over and over again, I kept saying, I called it out here. I bought a whole Bitcoin right there because I believed that, and we got the pump. Came back down for that, just one last, they were trying to just get you out. You know what I mean? Last thing we want to see is a CME. Let's take a look if there's any futures gaps here on Bitcoin. All right. Bitcoin futures. So let's take a look at the CME gaps that are around to see if there's any gaps that could hold us down or, break it, So look, we closed this gap for sure. All right. Where's the next gap? Let's take a look at the daily. The gaps look better on the daily. So look, we got a gap right there technically. All right. So we could come down and fill this gap. See that little, it's kind of almost not filled. Let me get rid of this stuff for a second. So we got this gap. Oh, look, then we made another gap. Technically, yeah, we had this gap. We filled it. We got another gap down at 20,800. Do we come down and fill that gap? Like one last boom. Did they do what they did here? Fill and bounce, fill and bounce. Not every gap gets filled. We got another gap right here that we just filled. Remember that. That was a gap that had been waiting to get filled for a long, long time. And we have a gap right here at 34,000. So I'm just saying, you can't, so I got all the gaps kind of waiting for you to see. Oh, so there's a gap right there. See, we filled that gap though. Once the gap gets filled, we could probably get rid of it. We filled this gap too, but there has to be another gap now. No, not really. Yeah, like right there is a gap. See it? From here to there. Do we have heavy wickage? No, I mean, it's still a bit of a gap. That's what, I have it right there. It's kind of freaky, but we have two gaps. Which one gets filled? Which one's closer? They're about even, Steven, on the CME gaps. So I just want you to know and understand what's going on with the CME gaps. All right. One thing I'm also showing you is this inverted head and shoulder that I've been sticking to. And it's likely we get a move to the upside here. All right, so I'm just showing you the bigger idea here. On the CME futures, we would fill that gap. Do we come down and fill that gap again? Not every single gap gets filled. Are there any empty gaps that never got filled here? That gap basically never got filled. You can see that. So about 5% of gaps never get filled. I honestly don't believe that they have to be. Like, once something's not 100%, then it's not 100%. That means it doesn't have to be 100%. So it is what it is. All right. Let's get into the gains of the day. MNet pumping high MAYC. I talked about it. It's booming to the upside again out the secondary channel that we just went over. Another 16% gains, holding gains of about 80, 75% from when I front run the golden cross out of this flag. I circled it, front run the golden cross. It's still there. Still moving. High MAYC continuing. I stick to the trade. Come back to the review. Stick to the trade. Stick to the trade. High MAYC. So what do I see happening for the afternoon for Bitcoin? Well, let's break it down. And I'll give you my prediction for Bitcoin for the day to see where I think where I believe the charts convey that we will be. You can't say I think, I believe, or I feel. Get rid of those words. It's what does the chart convey? Chart conveys this, chart conveys that. What does the chart convey? Is the chart talking to you? And what is it saying? So look, we'll go to a clean chart here. I still got my work that I'll update you on. We're going to go to the KuCoin chart here, and we're going to redraw it all. Remember this flag that I had going for you? We broke out of that flag, did we not? Now we're making a secondary flag outside of the first flag. As long as we stay inside this position, we're good to go. I believe today what's going to happen is the 4-hour may come down a little lower. We're going to test this trend line somewhere in this region. I can't tell you exactly. I'm not a psychic. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen, but I can tell you the probability of what's likely to happen. What's likely to happen is Bitcoin is about to stay somewhere in this range and get a bounce. Right now, look, the 1 hour is actually getting a bounce now. Look at that huge wick to the upside. That's a good sign. Back to 28,266. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. Let's take a look at the 4 hour starting to kind of, look at the 4 hour. We're getting a wick on the 4 hour. This could easily spin back to the upside. Remember, the daily's in your favor. 22 hour wants to dump on you. That's not a good sign. A lot of times the 22 hour is the outlier, and we have a bearish divergence here. So I'm getting some mixed signals. That's a bearish divergence. So let me break it down again. Let me see what my mind could give us. At the end of the day, the bearish scenario, as I'm talking about, is this is a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down where they began. We do have a CME gap there too. So, do we come down and fill the gap one more time? And then do we fly? That's interesting, isn't it? So it's suggesting that there could be a drop to the downside. However, I'm sticking to this diagonal trend line. I've been sticking to it right here. And I've been saying, hey, as long as we stay above it, we're bullish. And I'm just hanging on that. We go below the bearish retest, I will have to short down to 25,000. And then if we lose that level, we're going to go to that CME gap. So we know the bearish tones. I don't like what the 22 hours doing, but it could look, when we were this high, we had a huge pump. So just because we're this high doesn't mean we can't have a huge pump. Take a deep breath. Everything's okay. 3-day chart. I want to see it pump to the 200 SMA. That's what I want. That's what we're looking for. Then we can hold this down as a support zone. Once we get back above 28,005, we can hold it as support. We can get all the way to 32, probably come back to 28. I'm looking for this move to this yellow line. I'm looking for Bitcoin to move up to this yellow line. That's what I'm stuck on. That's what I'm convinced is likely to happen based on my years of doing this. Tight moving averages usually pump up to the 200 SMA and we learned this on multiple time frames. So look, what do I see happening for Bitcoin today? I believe it's going to hold this level and stay sideways inside the channel. So I'm going to get rid of this for now. I showed you the rising wedge, but I do know what where the bearishness is, and I'm not trying to say I'm not 100% bullish. I'm showing you all the possible scenarios so you are ready and privy to the information at hand. So look, we have two things being suggested here. One, that the 4 hour could continue us down. That would be an M pattern. But here, right now, we're suggesting that no. This is the pattern at play here. I'm going to get rid of that for a second. Just use this line with it. Bigger target. So I'm watching this. I get, what looks to me to be a symmetrical triangle, 50-50 pattern. And so far, we're staying inside the pattern, respecting the trend line. Looks like we could go sideways, and then the 1 hour could even pump us up. I'm still in a long, I have to admit, and I am, in the long something like this, in here, going for the target, stop loss below this level. You do whatever makes you happy, but this is what I'm looking at. I believe it's likely we go sideways for most of the day into the weekly candle close, and then the volatility could come. Right now, the 1 hour we did get the bounce that we suggested on the move. Hey, getting into that divergence on the 30-second chart may have paid off at 28,325. They even did the short squeeze right there. There always happens to be a short squeeze when I show up. So my prediction for the day is sideways to the right side. I believe we come back tonight, and that's going to be in about 8 hours. No, even more, 11 hours from now, right? 11 candles have to be made here. I believe it's likely that we actually start to break up somewhere into the afternoon, but anything is possible. That's my probability, but anything is possible. So I think we're somewhere here trying to break out or retest, or somewhere in the end of this channel when we show up tonight on the live stream. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you were already doing the right thing. I'm going to show you the 30-second one more time before we dip, just to show you how that played out. The inverted head and shoulder, and teach you the ways of the world. Look at that. Didn't we show you? It didn't make the right shoulder. It made a tiny shoulder right there. Look at it. It really did. And that's an inverted head and shoulder that did break out the length of the pole to the upside. We called the divergence right there. What happened after the divergence? I said buying into a red wick on divergence is usually where you have to be. Look at that move after that. Beautiful move to the upside. We can help you. If you're struggling in trading, if you don't understand what's happening, I can show you how to deep dive small time frames, how to look at the big time frames, how to see the CME gap. I can give you everything you need to know. I do Bitcoin every single day. I love it, baby. I love it. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. I'm jumping on out. I got to go do some things with the family. God bless you all. I usually don't do super chats in the morning. But why not? Why not? I'm never going to say no to a super chat, right? Let's take a look at MATIC here. Following Bitcoin to a T. Look, the exact same thing happened on MATIC on the 30-second chart. Are you understanding how Bitcoin runs the game? MATIC, same idea here. So if you're looking at MATIC, let's take a look at MATIC. MATIC still in this channel. As long as this trend line holds, MATIC can hold. All right? 111. You're watching this trend line to hold for MATIC. My mind, you're kind of in this like giant symmetrical. I'd watch for MATIC to get tighter in the zone, but just be careful. Bitcoin runs the show right now. I'd be watching more Bitcoin right now than MATIC. Once Bitcoin kind of gets above a certain level and shows signs of life, then we can trade the altcoins. But right now, MATIC is, kind of struggling here on the 2-day chart. Let's look at our 3-day chart, which is the chart I've been looking at a lot, and that's the chart I've been paying attention to. MATIC may double bottom at 34. You never know. But right now, as long as it holds this trend line, it's okay. All right? I'm not looking on any crazy moves for MATIC right now. 1 hour wants to point to the downside. The alts don't look too amazing. Watch Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes on another tear. The altcoins are going to keep getting hit off. Just be careful. There's a reason I'm focusing more on Bitcoin more than I have the last few days. Remember DIONE? I remember going over DIONE. Dude, we went over this thing. Look at this thing plowing to the upside. Bang, bang, bang for 80% for DIONE. That's insane. Or it's called D1 maybe. Someone gave us this. We talked about it bouncing on the 618 Fibonacci level, and we even put this poll out, and then we put this flag. Wow. Shout out to anyone that jumped into this. We went over this on the live stream, and I actually liked it. Remember, I went over the coin. Wow. To the upside for DIONE, or D1, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what we would call it. Everyone, I'm out of here for the day. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Sammy. Any hope for MEXC? It looks like it wants to go down to the 22 fair gap. You have any thoughts about the CPI data soon coming out again? I mean, CPI data is going to, mess with the market, but I believe that, inflation is going to continue, man. And Bitcoin's going to rise out of the ashes. You know what I mean? I got to run out of here, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. God bless each and every one of you. MEXC was in a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. You have to know this, right? And it was holding the zone. So MEXC is just holding. Never hit the stop loss. Really nothing to say, man. Go back to my last setup and see that it didn't hit the stop loss. There's nothing I can give you. It's doing exactly what it should have been done. Everyone wants more answers. I love your $20 super chat or your $20 NOK. I really appreciate it. But I find new beginner traders think like I could, dude, I'm showing you exactly what's happening. Stop loss here, take profit there. There's nothing else you can do about this. Either it dumps on you or it does not. Rising wedges, could go parabolic. There's a chance this does go parabolic out the move. I see this flag could bounce. It's all depending on Bitcoin too. Bitcoin takes a dump. Whole market takes a dump. 4 hours suggests you're going to get a bounce here to the upside. Should be a great place. After that divergence for Bitcoin, Personally, it's up to you. I would, looks like a pretty good idea. But look, shoulder, head, could be me making a right shoulder too. If anything, I just trade MAXC on the pattern. Back to the top of the pattern for a nice 17% gains. MAXC never hit the stop loss. Still valid. Nothing has changed. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Hit the link to MEXC. I'm telling you, MEXC is the place to be. They just got rid of trading spot fees. I'm telling you right now, they got rid of all the spot fees. That's going to be amazing for you if you're trading BTC. So I love each and every one of you. Thank you for jumping on in. And may you have a blessed day. I'll see you later on tonight at 8 p.m. and we're going to break it down. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Gratitude is the attitude with your life. And I'll see you tonight. Thank you.